Number 10, Cam Carlin. Number 5, Brett Reedy. Number 9, Zach Healy. Number 25, Dom Whalen. Number 24, Justin Ledger. Number 28, Ethan Boyer. Number 1, Jake Timmy. Number 7, Jack Willoughby. Reserves for Enfield tonight, number 13, Devin Marcotte. Number 4, Kyle Bach. Number 14, Jeremy Comfrey. Number 19, Ryan Flanagan. Number 12, Christian Pisani. And Enfield Post 80 is coached by Tom Owens. Okay, for South Windsor Legion, leading off, number 24, Danny Cruiser. Number 23, Jake Main. Number 12, Hunter Pasqualini. Your starting pitcher, number 20, Jason Red. Number 22, Brady Ward. Number 1, Jay Fournier. Number 4, Jack Waterman. Number 3, Brian Allard. Number 5, Cam Turley. And the South Windsor Reserves, number 11, Will Bonazelli. Number 34, Kenneth Kotler. Number 31, Josh Hobbs. Number 13, Charlie Keene. And number 3, Colin Neffy. South Windsor's head coach is Craig Zimmerman. Okay, tonight, to sing our national anthem, we have a special guest, Melanie Sirkowski. She's a granddaughter of Ralph G. N. Santee, Sr., former general manager of South Windsor Legion program.
Say was that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Nope. Play.
Hi, everybody, and welcome right here to Dunkin' Donuts Park. Just a wonderful live rendition of the national anthem. I believe one of the mothers of one of the players for South Windsor. We're on the opposite side from the public address announcer here at Dunkin' Donuts. Weren't privy to all that great information that came along, and what a rendition live right here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. So what a beautiful night for baseball, by the way. Some shadows being cast across the field. You can probably see that through our GoPro view that we have here tonight. And it's Enfield taking on South Windsor. So should be a good one between these two teams. Looking forward to it. South Windsor coming in at 5-9, and Enfield at 10-5 overall in the North Division. As we're just about ready to get this one going here today. Jason Ray, who pitched a perfect game out at Palmer Field in Middletown in his last outing, is out on the hill, the right-hander for South Windsor, and of course he's full of joy. He's got to put that in the rearview mirror, though, doesn't he, as he's got one here tonight, as he loses his cap during his warm-up throws. Special treat for you, and we're going to get to that right now, then try to play it back. It is a little bit distorted. Danny Kruzik joining us, talking about his grandfather, Tony. Yes, indeed, 92 years old, World War II veteran who served in the Navy in Japan, listening to the game from Trumbull, Connecticut, and, well, here you go. Enjoy this. My pleasure to have Danny Kruzik alongside, as of course he's part of the South Windsor Legion baseball team at the 19U level. Now a student at URI in beautiful Rhode Island, one of my favorite states, and not too far away from beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. And Dan, welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, it's a big moment to get a chance to play at such a wonderful facility as they have here today. How's it feel? You've been on the field yet?
Yeah, we played. I've been out and I played a few times.
I know you were at Fenway Park, which is a little bit different story, but talk a little bit about this ballpark.
Yeah, it's cool playing here because I get to go to games and stuff. And I see like the actual Yardbirds playing, and my friend's the bat boy here, so he always gets me tickets and stuff. So it's cool actually playing on the field.
I've been out and I played a few times.
I heard those tickets are a HUD item, so that's great to have a connection, right? The reason why you're here, your grandfather, 92 years old, which is amazing.
Good, how are you?
And Tony is his name.
Tony Kruzik. He lives in Trumbull, and he's a World War II veteran. He always tells me how it was in the late 1946 is when he got deployed in Japan for World War II, and he was an electrical engineer, so that's why he got chosen to be on a boat in Japan. So he stayed there for 2 years, and I really appreciate his service, and everybody in the Legion really does too. So that's why I love playing for his team.
Absolutely, and I certainly appreciate it. All right, welcome back to the live action here. We'll get back to that wonderful interview in just a moment. Matt Falk, the catcher for Enfield, leading things off here and swings and bats one to the backstop. Nice to have you with us. Jason Ray out on the mound. Jack Waterman behind the plate catching the balls and strikes tonight for South Windsor. Run down the rest of that batting order for Enfield in just a moment as Ray into the windup in the pitch. Down low, and the count goes 1-1 strike. So underway, game will be 7 innings long here tonight. As Jason Ray into the windup and the right-hander's pitch, and that's a hit on a line into the gap in left center field. It's going to be fielded there by Jake Main, and Main will hurry it to the infield. They're stretching it to a double as Falk, boy, a throw right on the money. The Fournier, the second baseman, might have had him, but Falk with a bit of a gamble, and he'll win out there. So the leadoff batter with a base hit. And quickly a man in scoring position for Enfield here on the top of the first brings up Cammy Carlin, the center fielder. He swings from the left side. Brett Reedy, the shortstop, to hit third, and Zach Healy, the first baseman, in that cleanup spot. Dom Whalen, the third baseman, hitting 6th. The pitcher is Justin Ledger. He'll bat 7th today. Actually, he's batting 6th with Whalen 5th. Ethan Boyer batting 7th. Timmy, the second baseman, batting 8th. And Willoughby, the right fielder, hits 9th today for Enfield. So they're off to a good start. Showing bunt is Carlin. Pulled it on back. Pitch was in the call ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Runner down at second, just underway. Waterman behind the plate. Brady Ward at the bag at first for South Windsor. Jay Fournier at second. Hunter Pasqualini is the shortstop. He's a good one. And Brian Allard at the bag at third. Jake Main in the left. Danny Kruzik, you just heard from Danny. He's in center field. And Cam Turley in right field defensively. Ray leaning in for the sign from Waterman. Stands tall. Takes a look at the runner at second. Here comes a pitch, and that missed outside. And the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Crowd is suddenly quiet here at Dunkin' Donut Park. Again, Ray from the belt. Missed outside. The count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner's going to go. The pitch low and away. The throw on down to the bag at third, and safe will be the call. Ball might have been bobbled by Allard on the strong slide by Falk, so he takes third base and steals a base. So very aggressive. Enfield got the strike out of Carlin, however, so you got 1 down. So they couldn't get the strike him out, throw him out double play. Waterman made it close. Now Reedy to the plate with 1 down and the runner just 90 feet away and less with the lead from the bag at third. Reedy the shortstop. And the Ray pitch to the plate down low. Nice stop by Waterman there on the pitch that was down towards his toes. Again, Ray into the windup and the pitch. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Ray's pitch up high. Count 3-0. Trying to jump out to a quick lead is Enfield here. Leader of the North Division. Both these teams play in the same division. And that's ball 4. Now you get runners at first and third with just 1 down. Brings up Healy. Mentioned Jason Ray coming off that perfect game. There was some discussion between Ray and Craig Zimmerman, the general manager of South Windsor Legion Baseball, and how do you approach your next outing after a perfect game? I don't think many people actually think about that, right? I mean, it's such a rarity. So Healy, the first baseman, to step in. And the pitch. That missed. Pitch in there for the strike call. Count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner's going to go on a delayed steal. They'll throw down, cut off in front of second base bag. Pasqualini picking it off, and no advance by the runner. Falk at the bag at third. So now you got him at second and third with just 1 out. Healy with a chance to bring home a couple of runs with a base hit. The left-handed hitter swings and hits it high down the left field line. And that's a foul ball. That pitch popped up. Out of play off to the left. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Long look in and the pitch. Hit on the ground down to second base. Bobbled off the glove of Fournier, and everybody's safe and a run will score. Fox scores from the bag at third. Reedy to third, and Healy ends up at the bag at first. That will go as an E4 and I believe an RBI. That's the first error of the game. Enfield scores the game's first run. They still have runners on the corners at first and third, and a run home for Whalen, the third baseman, up for the first time. Jason Ray, wind up pitch. Missed outside for a ball. He's going to have to earn that strike zone now. A pitch missed outside for a ball. Right-hander's delivery, big swing and a miss by Whalen. Swinging for the fence here. 308 down that line and right. About 388 or so to center field here at Dunkin' Donut. And down the left field line, I really can't see it. The view I have from the third base side takes our view away. There's a throw down. Again, cut off in front. Another stolen base, uncontested for the most part. And Healy in the scoring position. Enfield trying to be very aggressive early on here. Still just 1 out in the inning. Ray starting to feel the heat in the top of the first. The 2-2, Whalen dribbles one down to the third baseman in foul territory. The count remains level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long look in. The Ray pitch. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So he strikes out Whalen with a fastball. Blew it right by him. That's his second strikeout of the inning. So now he got 2 out with 2 on. And now the pitcher for Enfield coming up to the plate, Ledger. Trying to help his own cause here. The top of the first. Jason Ray checks the runner at third. The pitch up high for ball 1. Outfield just about straight away. Maine, Kruzik, and Turley from left to right. And the pitch. Missed outside. I'll tell you what, nice little conversation with Danny Kruzik. Hopefully we'll get back to that. Of course, it had a little garble in the background, a little reverb as we were trying to do the interview just prior to the start of this game here today. But, boy, he loves his grandfather. Really respects who he is and the family man he is and what he did for our country. Now residing in Trumbull. Wish him the best at 92 years old. Ray on the mound. The pitch to the plate. That missed. The count goes 2 balls, 1 strike. Actually 3-1 now as it goes up on the board. 3 balls, 1 strike with 2 out and 2 on. Ledger, another left-handed hitter in this Enfield lineup. They've had a few thus far in the top 5 batters. The pitch fouled up. Good bit of hitting to stay alive. The pitch, swing and a miss, and the strikeout of Ledger. So Jason Ray gets touched up for a run on one hit. It was a walk thrown in and an error that certainly didn't help. And you had a couple left on base. So we're through a half in your score. It is Enfield 1, South Windsor coming to the plate on SportingNewsCT.com. All right, welcome right back. South Windsor coming to the plate here for the first time. Danny Kruzik to lead things off. Kruzik wearing number 16 tonight versus 24. Danny, a student at URI in engineering. Student on the dean's list. And had that brief conversation talking about his granddad, Tony, senior, 92 years old, with a World War II vet. Here's the pitch to the plate from the right-hander, Justin Ledger. So Ledger working with a 1-1 lead. It's going to be Kruzik, Main, and Pasqualini, the scheduled hitters here for South Windsor in the bottom of inning number 1, as that pitch is a tad low. Jason Ray, the cleanup hitter, hitting fourth today. Brady Ward in the number 5 spot. He plays first. 1 year, Jay will bat 6th and play second base. Jake Waterman, the catcher, hitting 7th. Brian Allard, the third baseman, hits 8th as that ball skied high up into the air and floats towards the shadow line in the outfield made by the beautiful surroundings here at Dunkin' Donut Park. And Kruzik is retired on a fly ball. So 1 out. Batting ninth is Cam Turley, the right fielder. Matt Falk behind the plate, catching the balls and strikes for Enfield. Zach Healy at the bag at first. You got Timmy at the bag at second. Reedy playing shortstop. Whalen at third. Boyer, Carlin, and Willoughby in the outfield for Ledger. So Ledger gets the first out of the inning. That pitch in there for the strike. Two proud American Legion programs. Jake Main, who plays left field. fouls it off. We'll be talking to Jake a little bit later. He'll actually join us here in the booth when he comes out of the ball game. Jake Main attending Manchester Community College. Also a hockey player. Favorite class in school for Jake, team sports. Learn a lot in team sports. There's a swing and a miss. Ball was dropped. Finding the angle to throw it down was Falk. And Main is retired on the strikeout. You have 2 down. Pasqualini now stepping in, the shortstop here for South Windsor. Pasqualini, a freshman at CCSU. Brother Joe played in 2010 and 11. That ball rolled to the outfield grass, knocked down by Timmy. Wanted to come up firing and couldn't. Pasqualini with a base hit to the outfield grass. So that's the first hit of the game for South Windsor. Good bit of hitting. Brings up Jason Ray. Jason Ray had a brother, Dan, also played for South Windsor. Jason Ray's been touched up for a run here today, although he did have a no-hitter in state tournament baseball play. Also a perfect game last week versus Middletown, so he's had some success. Also plays some basketball. Won the Desmond Scholarship. Got to be very proud of that. Pitch, the Ray runner goes. Ball hit through the infield on the left side. Pasqualini forced a stop at the bag at second, and Ray, the cleanup hitter, comes up with a nice hit. That's 2 consecutive hits put together now. That brings to the plate Brady Ward. Ward, a student at the University of South Carolina. His dad played Legion baseball in New Jersey, did Brady's. Hits that high in the air, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Center fielder Carlin had trouble finding it, now picking it up, and a run will score. They're going to send another. Here comes a throw, but that's way late. Now throw down to the bag at second is high to the outfield. Getting up and now scampering along is Brady Ward the third. So Ward's going to get a misplayed double and 2 RBI out of that and end up at the bag at third, and South Windsor now has a lead on a wild play. That is their third hit of the inning. They score a couple of runs. There should be an error charged to the Enfield catcher for allowing Ward to gain third base, and that's where he ends up on a wild and furious play. So after Krusik and Main were retired, Pasqualini with a single, Ray with a base hit, and Ward with a double ends up at third base and 2 RBIs, and South Windsor has a lead at 2-1. Brings up Fournier to the plate. Pitch inside for ball 1 to Fournier. So a good start here for South Windsor offensively. Very important that bottom half of an inning, and you give up a run the top half, in particular when you start a ball game. Get the bat, be aggressive, score a couple of runs yourself. Ledger. Fastball. Looped right at the shortstop, taken by Reedy for the out. So a little soft liner, and that will do it. A couple of runs score. Brady Ward knocks in a pair, so 2 runs on a total of 3 hits. It was an error, and 1 left on base. We've completed 1 full, and it is South Windsor 2, Enfield 1. Let's go back to that interview again. We'll do that here for a moment. We'll pick it up at about this point right here. veterans out there, of course, and future veterans will also help us out in the future. So that's terrific. And he's still ticking at the age of 92 years.
Oh, yeah.
Got a little lazy. He didn't want to come to the game.
Yeah, I didn't want to come. I'll razz him for that if he's listening. But I told my dad we're trying to get him to come up, and he didn't. But it's good that he can watch and listen to the game, so that'll be cool. I hope he's watching.
How's it feel? You've been on the field yet? What do you take from the wisdom of a 92-year-old veteran?
Everything. Whenever I see him, I listen to him, and he always tells me stories. He says one thing he always says is that people can take your shoes, your clothes off your back and stuff like that, but they can't take whatever you have in your head. So yeah, we played. He always says that, so I'll say that to him now, and I always remember that.
Is that something you're going to carry forward too?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll say that to my grandkids.
I was going to ask you if that moves forward throughout your lifetime, which is amazing. Other than all the war stories and things like that,
I've been out and I played a few times here.
Talk about his upbringing that perhaps prepared him for 4-3-2-1 test.
So he grew up in Schenectady, and he was 18 years old when he went to when he got enlisted.
Yeah, we played.
When he enlisted,
and I played a few times here.
He was 18 years old, and he went. And I remember he tells me a story where he just called his mom, and he told her, "Mom, I'm going to Japan. I'm enlisted." And he's off to war, which is crazy. Like to me.
All right, Ethan Boyer now stepping up to the plate as we move on to the top of inning number 2. And again, Danny Kruzik talking about his papa, Tony Kruzik. And thank you, sir, for all you have done for our country. So for the first time, Ethan Boyer stepping up to the plate. Enfield trailing by the score of 2-1. Big fastball. Ray feeling comfortable now after his team responds effectively. And the windup and the pitch to the plate's going to be fouled off. So Boyer stepping up for the first time. Swings and lofts that high in the air to the right fielder. Turley should have plenty of room, and he'll make the catch in the shadows in right, and 1 out. Ethan Boyer retired. Brings up Jake Timmy stepping up to the plate. Timmy, a 3-year starter at Enfield High School, playing baseball in college. Pretty good pitcher, 5-2 record in 2019 with an ERA under 3 at 2.20. Today he's playing second base, well-rounded player. Pops it up and fouls it off over the rooftop here at Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford. Timmy, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. My eyes are going on me. Ray the deal it, the right-hander's pitch. Curveball down off of home plate. Bounds to the backstop. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of inning number 2. 2-1 if you're just tuning in, South Windsor. Scored 2 in the bottom of the first. Enfield had jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the top half. Count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch fouled off. Still plenty of daylight left. Lights will go on at some point, you would imagine, here tonight. And the pitch to the plate and fouled off the foot of the batter, Timmy. Jake will shake that off. Willoughby in the on-deck circle. He's the right fielder, number 9 hitter for Enfield. Pitch low and inside, ball 4, so he loses him.
Now batting number 7, Jack Willoughby.
So Willoughby will step up with 1 on and 1 out. Willoughby, a student at Enfield High School. Second year in the Enfield Legion program. Special thanks to all the coaches for going out and gathering the information on their players for us. Willoughby takes strike one. Jason Ray touched up for a run in the first. Work from the belt, throw to first. Timmy got back in time. Of course, we'll have full coverage of the American Legion baseball tournament in the 19 or senior division level. We'll bring you the championship games and a few others from 17 and under during tournament time, including their championship game along with a 15U championship game. They'll all be played at Seppa Field in Meriden. Well, the championship games. First weekend in August, as usual. Will it be in a hole now, 0-2. Big swing and a foul ball. Went off the mask of the catcher, Jack Waterman. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out and 1 on in the top of the second inning. Ray's pitch to the plate, foul back. Jason Ray, favorite movie, Avengers, Endgame. Count remains at 0-2, so Ray has been throwing strikes on the number 9 guy, Willoughby. Willoughby well back in that right-handed batter's box. We'll get time. Fournier, the second baseman, shaded a little bit towards the bag at second, thinking double play ball perhaps. Swing and a miss, and the strikeout of Willoughby. That is the 4th strikeout of the ball game for Jason Ray. Now you got 2 down. Brings up the top of the order. Walk had a double, stole a base and scored a run back in the first inning. So the catcher will take off the shin guards. Get ready to go. Comes jogging in. You got Carlin in the on-deck circle. And the pitch. That missed. Matt Falkhead's heading to Mitchell College, 2-year varsity starter at Enfield High School. He's a team captain in both his junior and senior year. Pitch down low. Falk with a double today, now has 4 in the season. He's a leader in that category for Enfield. Also has chipped in with a couple of triples. Has some power. Good contact leadoff hitter. Foul tip that into the catcher's mitt. The count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. Bring that count up to date for you. The Ray pitch, runner goes, and the pitch fouled off. So Timmy was off and running. You got a guy that has the ability to find the gaps, obviously. Get that runner at first moving. He's got a good chance to go all the way around, doesn't he, and score. Pitch foul back. Tell you one thing, he has a very quick bat, this ball. I know the reason why he's been such a good hitter. He led his high school team, Enfield High School, and extra base hits with 12. Also had 3 homers. Runner goes, ball roll foul the opposite way down the right field line. Enfield with a run on the first, base hit. There was an error thrown in by South Windsor. South Windsor with a response. 2 runs in the bottom of the first on 3 hits, and it was an error. Falk drives that one high up into the air. Kruzik, the center fielder, got a good jump on it and makes the catch for the inning's final out. So Falk got underneath that just a little too much, and that just becomes a routine fly ball out. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. There was a walk and 1 left. We've completed 1.5 here at Dunkin' Donut Park, and your score, it is South Windsor 2 and Enfield 1. Back with the bottom of inning number 2. I will finish up the remainder of that interview with Danny Kruzik talking about his grandfather, Tony Kruzik, who served in World War II in the Navy in Japan, now residing in Trumbull. Be a baseball
good, how are you? Oh yeah, he watches baseball. He's a Red Sox fan. I like the Mets. Yeah, he likes the Mets too. I've been out and I played a few times here.
Oh, so you still have a good relationship despite that, because '86 was a very bad year for the Red Sox and Mets.
Yeah, exactly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How you doing, Dan? You know what drives you other than your grandfather to American League and baseball? Talk a little bit about the camaraderie you might have with your teammates here, and you go off to college, but you still think of community.
Yeah, me and Jay Ray are the 2 college guys, and we came back to play, and we just had a trip in Cape Cod, and we're always playing like every day, pretty much all summer. We have like 30-something games. Yeah, we played. It's a really good team, and I love it. I've been a part of the program for 6 years now. This is my last year, my 6th year, so I really love it. My brother plays. He just played earlier, 17U. He was pitching. I'll make fun of him. He only threw, I think he hit 69 on 1 pitch. He's got to bring up the speed. I can probably beat him there. I've been out. He threw well, though. He threw well. He came in bases loaded, and he got out of a jam.
He did a great job with that. In closing, anything you want to say to your granddad? He's out there. Tony's listening right now.
Yeah, pop up. I hope you enjoy the game. I hope I do well for you.
You've been on the field yet? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been out.
Joining us and doing a nice job talking to and about his grandfather here today. Test 54321. Test 54321. How you doing, Dan? Welcome right back, and again, special thanks for Danny running up from the field to do that interview prior to the start of the game. A lot of sounds going on in the backdrop, including our test interview, which was running in the background too, so a little bit of distortion there, but hopefully you got the point that Danny has a lot of respect for his granddad, Tony. So it's Waterman leading things off here, the catcher, in the bottom half of inning number 2 for South Windsor. Number 7 hitter in the lineup. You got Allard and Turley to follow against Ledger. Ledger working quickly. Got him with a curveball. Fooled him there a little bit. May have changed him up, and Waterman will go back to the dugout. Second strikeout in the game for Ledger. So they go 1 out, nobody on. Allard to the plate.
Now batting number 3, Brian Allard.
So Allard will step in with 1 out, nobody on. Pops it up first base side on over his Healy, and he'll make the catch on the dirt. And quickly, there's 2 out in just a couple of pitches.
Now batting number 5, Cam Turley.
So Turley, the number 9 hitter, will step up to the plate. Ledger's pitch up high and a swing and a miss by Turley. Justin Ledger graduated from Enfield High School, second year in the, actually goes to Enfield High School, second year in the Enfield program. 4-0 record coming into today's play with an ERA at 1.63. Trailing South Windsor right now. South Windsor on top by the score of 2-1. A 1-1 pitch. Missed, and the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a ground ball hit down to the third baseman. Neat play by Whalen on the backhand side to throw, and they got him. Nice work by Healy. Whalen and Healy collaborating there. Healy had to be quick to put the tag on the dashing Turley to get the out. So an easy 1-2-3 inning. Score that at home, 5-3. No runs, no hits, no errors. We've completed 2 full. And your score, South Windsor 2, Enfield 1, right here on SportingNewsCT.com as we kick off our American Legion schedule. All right, welcome right back here to Dunkin' Donut Park, and leading things off will be Cam Carlin. It'll be Carlin, Reedy, and Healy, the scheduled hitters, against Jason Ray. Ray working with a 2-1 lead here into the top of inning number 3. Cam Carlin, attending Enfield High School, 2-year starter out at Enfield. Takes a strike call over the outside corner. Pretty pitch there by Jason Ray. He'll be the captain of the varsity baseball team. Well, Cam Carlin here in 2020, believe it or not, when that rolls around. There's a ground ball, speaking of rolling, down to Brady Ward at the bag at first for the easy put out. Carlin now 0 for 2. That's 3 unassisted. That's going to bring up Brett Reedy. Reedy attends the University of New Haven, 3-year starter out at Enfield High School. He was an all-conference player in his junior year. Got even better, was an all-state player in his senior year, was Brett Reedy. Batted close to 400 for Enfield and swats that ball down the left field line. It drops in for a base hit and a big turn of the bag. So Reedy with a 1-out single. He's been on base twice now. He's walked and singled. So good bit of hitting. Second hit of the ball game for Enfield. They have a runner on with 1 out.
Now batting number 9, Zach Healy.
So Healy to the plate. Healy reached on an error by the second baseman and knocked in a run. Had runners at second and third at the time, so the contact brought home a run. So make that a quality at bat. Made some contact, made the infield play it. My broadcast partner, Steve Riley, firm believer, and you hit it on the ground, good things are going to happen for you offensively at this level of play on occasion. And it certainly did. That's batted high in the air by Healy. And it falls in safely for a base hit. Kruzik will have to field it. It took a funny bounce past him, and he had to hurry to it. Then the throw to the infielder. The shortstop, Pasqualini, over his head, but no harm done. So Got back-to-back singles for Enfield. And they got runners at first and second. With just one away, and Whalen to the plate, who struck out his first time. Whalen, left-handed hitter. Jason Ray checks a runner down at the bag at second. Each team now with 3 hits and a blazing fastball. Swing and a miss. Ball dropped by Waterman, but no advance by the runners. Whalen, bit of that closed stance from the left side, a wiggle of the bat. Ray checks the runner at second base and the pitch. That's down low. Been a nice crowd all day long for the 4 games taking place here. Special thanks to the folks here at Dunkin' Donut, making us feel so comfortable throughout the day. Here's the 1-1. That's hit up the middle. Fournier's going to field it. Got it onto the bag at second for the force out in the middle. Now Fournier kind of lost his footing. Had to really dig after that ball. So Whalen is safe on the fielder's choice. Reedy takes a bag at third. Healy is retired 4-6 on the force out in the middle. And they're going to come out and have a chat now with Jason Ray. And they're probably going to talk situations here with 2 outs. One run on 3 hits and 1 error for Enfield. For South Windsor, 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. Ledger will be coming to the plate. Struck out his first time. Trying to help his own cause here. He hasn't lost this season, coming in at 4-0. All right, Ray with a long look in for the sign from the catcher, Waterman. Middle infielders are back. You would imagine Whalen will take off for the bag at second at some point here, try to set up a second and third situation. Ledger with a base hit will tie the score here. 1 ball, no strikes. They throw over to first. Runner got on back. Brady Ward, the first baseman. Whalen again with that sizable lead away from the bag at first. Ray comes to the plate. Lofted foul down the third base side now to play by Whalen. Some of the sounds of Hartford in the backdrop, the sirens. Very busy city, as you know. 91, 84, they all converge in this general vicinity here. Main Street, Hartford. Right down the road. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Ledger. Ethan Boyer in the on-deck circle. Outfield straight away. Pitch outside. Count goes 3 balls and 1 strike. Jason Ray in jeopardy of loading the bases here. Walked a batter in the first. Walked a batter in the second. Comes at him up high, and that's ball 4, and he'll lose. Ledger. So Ledger to the bag at first. Whalen up to second. Reedy remains anchored at third. Now the bases are loaded.
Number 28, Ethan Boyer.
Brings up Ethan Boyer. Now Boyer with a base hit. Could certainly give his team a lead here. Boyer, a student at Springfield College, 3-year player for Enfield Legion Baseball. Just loves the sport, obviously. Playing his final season of Legion ball. And again, Jason Ray struggling to find that strike zone as he was up high. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Boyer. Boyer with a fly ball out to right his first time. That pitch in for the strike over the inside corner equals the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Ray trying to get out of the bases loaded jam. There are 2 outs. And the pitch inside. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Ray from the belt. Pitch foul back. Count level 2-2. Ray with the ability to strike you out. Got a total of 4 in the ball game already. Go along with the 3 walks. Enfield with 3 hits. So they've had base runners. Matter of fact, they've had base runners now in every inning. We're in the top of the 3rd. Swing and a miss. Blows it by him for the strikeout. Well, when you got one of those, a blazing fastball like that, you can take a big sigh of relief and make your way back to the dugout as Enfield comes up empty with the bases loaded. We're on to the bottom of the 3rd inning. So in the inning, there were no runs. You had consecutive hits, a total of 2. There were no errors and 3 left on base. We'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd, 2-1 South Windsor with a lead over Enfield. All right, welcome back as we move on here to the bottom of inning number 3. Kruzik to lead things off. He represents the top of the order for this South Windsor team. Kruzik with a fly ball out his first time facing Ledger. Each team with 3 hits. South Windsor on top by a run of 2-1. All the runs scored back on the first. You got Maine in the on-deck circle, and that pitch hit high in the air to the right fielder. Willoughby has plenty of room. Will reach up with the glove and make the catch. Kruzik is retired. You got 1 down to start the 3rd. Brings up Jake Maine. Maine struck out his first time. His granddad, Barry Doucette, served in the Air Force. He's listening to the game in Virginia. Jake is going to come up and chat about his granddad just a bit. Jake was part of 2 Zone 8 championship teams, also a hockey player. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Holds that bat high, and the pitch tomahawked right at the pitcher. Nice play there by Ledger as he fielded that, lost the cap, throws him out, and you have 2 down. So Maine is retired. Ledger over the last couple innings has done a terrific job economizing his pitch count. As Maine retired 1-3 for the inning's second out. Brings to the plate Pasqualini. Pasqualini with a single and a run scored back in the first. First pitch in there for strike 1. Base is empty here in the bottom of the third inning. A Ledger offering, the right-hander guns one, and that's hit high in the air to the left fielder. Twisting around and finally circling underneath it, then missing the ball was Boyer. I don't know if it hit him right in the cap or not. Heading to third goes Pasqualini. He's thinking inside the park homer. Here comes a throw, and the slide, not in time, safe as Pasqualini. Well, I don't know if they're going to rule that a hit or not. Getting twisted around was Ethan Boyer. It looked like it actually went off his glove. He was underneath it. Might have hit him in the head and the noggin and rolled away. He looks none the worse for wear. He's got the cap back on, but he certainly rubbing things up, and that will go as an error. So E7 inside the park homer, just to give you some perspective on what just took place. And a run up on the board. So South Windsor now leads it by the score of 3-1. And that was absolutely crazy. Ball hit out to the left fielder. Boyer got twisted around. Looked like he recovered nicely. Pasqualini just kept on going. Going to bring up Jason Ray. So no hit. A 4-base error, allowing Pasqualini to go around the bases and score. He was just flat out flying. Nothing about Pasqualini in his little bio he put together about being a track star that I can see anywhere. He was a starting goalie for the South Windsor High School soccer team. His hobbies, baseball and going fishing. Nothing about running around bases like a crazy man, like he just did. Man, that was amazing. That's fouled out. He really flew. So Ray pitch up high, couldn't hold back, and that'll do it. So the inning will come to a close. So an error leads to a run, a 4-base error, matter of fact, and South Windsor ups their lead now to 3-1. So you had 1 run on no hits. There was 1 error, nobody left on the bases on a wild play. We'll be back with the top of the 4th. Let's catch our breath. All right, welcome right back as we continue. All right, welcome right back as we continue with our coverage of American Legion baseball here in 2019. We kick it off in style here at the Dunkin' Donuts Park, and we're joined by the starting left fielder today, Jake Main. And, well, Jake, you're coming out of the ball game. Keene's going in for you, so you get a chance to come up here and become a star now in the media field, right? I mean, that doesn't get any better than that.
No, never. First interview ever.
Yeah, there you go.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So you're done, by the way. You're all done. You've done the audition. You're all right. You saw your partner come up here, and he did a good job.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to do. And you're a hockey player, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's why I like you. I'm a hockey player,
Love
too,
hockey.
in my day. Yeah, it's the best sport.
Best sport. Playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good. Playoffs are outstanding. You know, just a moment ago, I just saw something I haven't seen too often. A fly ball to left field turns into an inside the park homer in a sense because it was called an error and a four-base error or what. Have you ever seen that before?
I have never seen that before. That was one of my best buddies on the team, though. I've been playing with Pasqualini forever. Went to had the same kindergarten class, so it was good for him to see that.
He can fly, can't
Great player, great player. He's going to Central next year.
He was a hockey player too, wasn't he?
He was not actually, but
soccer player.
All-state soccer goalie, actually.
Yeah, he's got some wheels on him because he made it around pretty well there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're attending Manchester Community College right now, but your granddad lives down in Virginia.
He does.
He might be viewing.
Yeah,
tonight.
I think he's watching right now. My mom told me that was going to be the case. So, Papa, I hope you're watching the game. I hope you're enjoying it, and go South.
Of course, living in Virginia, he's living the life, right?
Oh,
It's nice and warm half the time down there.
He adopted the Cavaliers, big Cavalier fan.
Did he? Okay.
Still Sox, though.
Is he still
sticking with the Sox?
Yeah, you got to. So he's from Connecticut originally?
Yep, from Connecticut.
There's a ground ball hit by Timmy, fielded in the hole and thrown across. It's going to scoot away from Hobbs. No harm done there. It was a tough play for your partner there, Pasqualini, as it was in the hole there. And we'll give him an infield single on that. So there you go. How often does that happen? Something crazy happens in the field, and then all of a sudden you're part of the very next play as that ball hit to the shortstop hole for Pasqualini there. You know, you talk a little bit about your granddad. You got to be proud of him. You play American Legion baseball, and a lot of the young guys I get a chance to talk to, they say they talk about what an honor it is to, kind of give back to the veterans.
It truly is. It truly is. It's awesome to play for the American Legion program, and that's one of the big reasons why ever since I was 14, I've been playing for the program, and now I'm 17, turning 18, and it's been a blast. I love it. It really means a lot to give back to the veterans who gave so much for our country and the reason we get to play this great game.
Barry Doucette is your grandfather.
Yep.
Is any war stories? Does he talk much about it?
No, he doesn't. Yeah. He's a big life lessons guy, though. He likes to spread that with me and my other cousins. And my cousin Zach Donahue is going to UConn to play baseball. So our grandfather comes to watch a good amount of our games. It's a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. Out on the mound right now is Jason Ray. That was pretty wild, too, because there you go. He pitched a perfect game the other day.
Yeah.
You've been part of many of those.
That was my first one. Never been a part of a no-hitter, so that was my first game like that. It was a blast. Tell my kids about that one day.
You play hockey, you play baseball, although a lot of folks don't look at baseball as a team sport. It really is.
It really is.
A lot of communication.
Oh, yeah, they're complete opposites, but that's why I love them. There's so much more patience and strategy, I feel like, in baseball, and hockey's more of a bang your head against the wall kind of sport, creative. I love it. Love them both.
A nice play there by Bonazelli as he wheels over on the bunt attempt, and Ray able to throw it over, and they get Willoughby, brings up Falk, and kind of want to segue in. You talk about your granddad with the life lessons and the like, and obviously to be in the Air Force or any arm of the armed forces, you really got to be a team member.
Oh, yeah.
Any life lessons from that he passed along about being a team guy?
It's all about your brothers and who you got next to you, and I really like to use that in sports a lot. I like to use that mindset, and it's not about me. It's always about the guy next to me, and it's always about what's best for the team and the group.
So a big hit there by Falk, and he's at the bag at first. I kind of lost track of what else was going on because I'm enjoying my conversation so much. But you did see a run put up on the board. I thought you would. As Timmy able to score, so that's going to be an RBI hit for Falk. I'll tell you, that young man can hit the baseball.
He really can. We were talking about that in the dugout. Even his foul balls, it's like the way the ball sounds off the bat, and he swings so powerful. He's a good player.
That's his second hit of the ball game. He had that double back in the first. He got a very quick bat, doesn't he? So, it's one thing I admire about baseball is the respect you have for others.
Yeah, it really is key. Like, you never see like really arguments in our games because it's all like great play, good this, good throw, nice diving catch, killed that ball. It's all just being good people.
A little bit of trash talk.
Yeah, here and there.
You got to have that.
That's the big switch from hockey to baseball.
Yeah, right, absolutely. I unfortunately bring that hockey mentality to everything I do.
Me too. That's where I get in trouble.
Yeah, I do too. It's hard to shut it down, and really should, I guess.
It's just a mindset.
It really is. It is a mindset. And, I think baseball, you got to be a lot more patient.
Yeah, and for sure. Patience is key in baseball. You can't just have one at bat and then get down on yourself if you don't do great, because then you're just not good for the rest of the game, and then that's.
Talking to Jake Main, and of course out of South Windsor, and you guys are so lucky, and I don't know if you appreciate it. You may get a turf field, but you'll be long gone as a baseball player at the American Legion level if that happens. But maybe not. Who knows? They could put it in pretty quickly.
You never know.
But you'll be perhaps around it if you hang around South Windsor. But just talking about the facilities, starting with the concession stand at Rotary, that's good stuff.
Great stuff.
You got the batting building.
We're very fortunate in South Windsor to have the facilities we do, not just in baseball, but a lot of sports. We're very fortunate to have what we do.
Got a good game going here. 3-2 you score. South Windsor leading Enfield right now. You guys as the senior guys, right? That ball slashed. That's going to be trouble. Base hit into left field, and Enfield will not send the runner. Now they will as the ball overrun by Keene in left, and that's a run up on the board as Falk will score, not the score here at 3. Just going to update the score there. That was their, fifth hit. So they've scored 2, and they come back and they tie at 3 here. It's not an easy season sometimes, is it? Never over till it's over. As a senior ball player, right, and you look at the junior South Windsor team really struggling to pick up wins. They come close, just not bouncing their way. What do you guys say as the older guys to these younger guys going through a little bit of this turmoil looking for a victory?
We like to say they're not young, but they're just inexperienced. And the experience will come, and the experience against the faster pitching and the better infielders, better outfielders, they'll get used to it, and they'll figure it out. There are a lot of good kids there, a lot of talent, and they got some great coaches, so they'll definitely figure that out.
I tell you, it is a huge... And that's probably the biggest adjustment out of any sport when you go from that Little League diamond.
Oh, yeah. Diamond. There is a huge difference. And then wood bats compared to metal, that's another story. It's just we actually played in the Cape Cod tournament, and we got to use metal. So just seeing the difference in the way that the ball flies off the bat, it's crazy.
Now, I know you probably like the metal bat because the ball goes further and it moves quicker, and you might have a better batting average. But truthfully, isn't it a better game with a wood bat?
I love it with the wood bat. It kind of, like, you look at the stats, and it's more like real life, like major league hitters. Like, I think that's, like, really cool, and you don't have kids hitting, like, 565.
Reedy just sent one in the right field, and another run is going to score. Right now, Enfield putting together a big inning. That's their third consecutive hit. Not to bring you bad news, Jake, because from our vantage point, it's difficult to see the field. Isn't it? It's kind of crazy here. Yeah, that's an RBI hit for Reedy. As Carlin scores, brings up Healy. I had to do so much work in the background here, did you?
No, I didn't. It's cool to see.
So 4 runs up on the board for Enfield. A little conversation taking place. Before I let you go, and because you have bad luck, by the way. Have you noticed?
Clearly.
You come up here and the opposition scores 3, so Mr. Zimmerman said you got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's usually the bad luck guy in South Windsor. But all kidding aside, you talk about veterans. You get a chance to see a lot of them. Your grandfather, obviously. You heard the conversation a little bit earlier with Danny Kruzik about his granddad and things like that, and boy, it's just amazing stuff. You read about it in history books, what these guys did for us.
It's just it's absolutely nuts to me to know that kids my age were getting drafted to go across seas and go away from their families. That's unbelievable to me, and I don't know what I would do in that position myself. Those guys are a lot stronger and a lot braver than I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I could do it, that's for sure. Although, I'm a firm believer, but I can say this in hindsight, and I can say it safely because I'm pretty much beyond the drafting age in life. We probably should all serve 2 years.
That's fair.
At minimum.
For your country?
For your country. I think we learn a lot. We're much more mature. A lot more respect for our American flag, perhaps, in some cases. As things move along, we'll leave the women's soccer team out of that. But or some of the NFL players out of that. And the like. So, but that's the great thing about American Legion Baseball. Does your team have a good chance to make a good run in the upcoming American Legion tournament?
I actually really think we do. We're struggling right now with our offense, but the pitchers we could put out on the mound with Ray, Ward, Pasqualini, Kruzik, we have some quality arms to go against the high seed in the first round, and then just see where it goes from there.
Yeah, pitching is at that time of year is huge, and early on it's one game elimination too. So you get your guy out there, he does a nice thing for you. Then all of a sudden the bats come alive, and good things will happen. Well, I know you want to get back down to the dugout, Jake. Great job. Awesome.
Thank you.
Really,
Thank you.
So you're like a natural.
It was a blast.
As a rookie, I'm going to give you an A+.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Jake Main, you want to say goodbye to anybody?
All right, bye, Papa. Let's hope we turn this one around. Go South.
All right, there you go. Jake joining us, and we do appreciate it. And right now, Enfield in the midst of putting together a big crooked number up there on the board. They got 3 in the inning, the lead 4-3. And thank you, Jake. Go down and give your team some good luck, would you? All right. I got to kick him out of the booth. The team start losing. You got to go. So he's going. He did a great job, and we do appreciate it. All right. So at the plate is Healy. Remaining in the game is Jason Ray. He's been touched up for 4 runs on 6 hits. The team has just committed 1 error behind him. South Windsor with 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors, committed by Enfield here tonight. Boy, it was a pleasure to talk to both Jake and Jake. Great job, good-looking boy too. So he might have a future in the media. He may have just jump-started his career. That ball just took a funny bounce past Pasqualini, and things not going the way South Windsor would like him to go here in the top of the 4th. Healy's going to reach. Runners go to the corners as Reedy all the way to 3rd. Healy safe at first, and they will rule that an error, and he's 6. It was a difficult bounce and hop there for Hunter Pasqualini, but just couldn't haul it in. I don't know if they actually put Hobbs down there. I'm gonna have to check that out. Going to have to check that out. When they turned around, may not have been Pasqualini there. Ball fouled off. Still just went out in the inning, and 3 runs up on the board. They're on the corners. The lights are now on here at Dunkin' Donut Park. Actually, I think Pasqualini now pitching. Is that right? Okay, so I think that's what happened during the conversation we were having there. And indeed, that is the case. So sorry I missed that, but I was involved in a wonderful conversation with Jake Main. What a nice young man. Family should be proud. Big swing and a miss there. Kind of liked his little chat about the hockey mentality. It is the truth. Oh, not the same as some of the other sports. The runner goes first to second. No throw by the catcher. It looks like in Whalen's spot, we do have a pinch hitter. That's Flanagan. Ryan Flanagan hitting. Great to see all these young men getting a chance to compete in the game here today. Infield is in around the horn. It is a zone game. It is very crucial to the standings, of course. So both these teams are going to be out here trying to win it. So Flanagan has a pinch hitter. Goes down swinging. Brings up Marcotte to the plate for the first time. So Devin, who wears number 13, will hit in the pitcher's spot. Marcotte swings from the left side. So Jason Ray's day is over. I did see them come out and have the conversation. I didn't see Pasqualini warming up for all that long. Hey, it's our first American Legion game of the season, so we all got to get warmed up here a little bit. Well, at least from the broadcast standpoint. These guys have been playing since June. It is 6, 7, 8 weeks of a lot of great baseball. American Legion play. 4-3 if you're just tuning in here in the top of the fourth. Pasqualini checks the runners, and the pitch comes with a blazer and just missed outside. Tom Owens, the head coach of this Enfield Post 80 team. And they're putting up numbers here in this inning. Got 2 outs now. Pasqualini couldn't get the strike call over the outside corner, and the count goes 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch fouled off towards us. Hit the netting. If you haven't been out to this ballpark, I highly suggest coming out and enjoying the festivities. Wonderful concession stand, and the souvenir stand is a great place to pick up your yard goat stuff, your gear. That pitch missed outside. The count goes 3 balls and 2 strikes. The rumor is they will play the Connecticut American Legion Championship game here in the near future. Here's a ball hit down to the shortstop. Throw across the diamond, and there in time by Hobbs. So that will do it in the inning, but a big inning it was for Enfield. They bounce on top through 3.5 by the score of 4-3 as they score 3 runs with 8 batters coming to the plate, and they had a total of 4 hits in the inning. It was an error. All right, we got the bottom of the fourth coming your way right here on SportingNewsCT.com. All right, Brady Ward is coming up to the plate with the pitching change. Ward was able to stay in the ball game with Hobbs moving to that shortstop spot. It was a change they made when They retire Jason Ray from the contest as a pitcher. Bottom of the fourth we are, and the score is 4-3 Enfield on top. 1 in the first and 3 in the fourth for Enfield. South Windsor 2 in the first and 1 in the third. And that pitch low and inside to Brady Ward. And the pitch. Ward will golf that high up in the air. Second baseman will call for it, take charge, and making the catch is Jack Timmy for the out. So put away. Although we may see a change there too. Just making sure. Yep, Pazzini now playing second base. Sometimes we don't get the changes until they are made, and we see them in the field from our vantage point here. Anyway, that's one down. So Ward retired on a pump up. Out of the plate, batting one down is Kotler, and he's retired. So Kotler out. He was hitting for Fournier. And just like that, you have 2 down. South Windsor in their white uniforms, their home whites today, as the catcher, Waterman, will step up. Struck out his first time. That pitch popped up in the foul play towards the stands and out. That's Devin Marcotte, by the way, pitching. Taking over for Ledger. Ledger worked 3. 2 outs, bases empty here in the bottom of the fourth. Tell you what, this ballpark comes to life as the night approaches. And the pitch up high. Waterman today, 0 for 1 as we mentioned. Bats that one foul. Jack, a junior at South Windsor High School. Great-grandfather was in World War II in the Pacific. Dad, a Unionville Legion MVP in 1988. So Jack Waterman coming from some great stock, and his great-grandfather in World War II. Starting varsity catcher at CCC East Champs. For Waterman, he had a double in his first 19U at bat. Hit a double at Doubleday Field, too, at the Hall of Fame. And he draws a walk here. So he's on base with 2 outs is Jack Waterman. So coming up for the first time, Josh Hobbs. Wearing 31 today, listed as number 16 on your program. There's a bit of a number change, I do believe. So Hobbs a swing. Runner will advance to second as the ball got away from the catcher. And I'll tell you, pretty strong throw by Falky. He's quite a ball player. You can tell he loves the game. Count 2 balls and no strikes to Hobbs right now. Do have 2 out. Count goes 3 balls and no strikes. Marcotte's pitch. Throws it down the middle of the plate for the strike call. The count goes 3 balls and 1 strike. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. Count goes full 3-2 with a big swing and a miss. That's ball 4. So Hobbs, his first plate appearance, draws a walk. It's a 2-out walk. Now you got runners at first and second.
Now batting, number 11, Will Bonazelli.
Bonazelli now stepping in. Bonazelli hitting that number 9 slot. Up in a big spot. And think about it. Junior at South Windsor High School. Uncle Rob Stingley was an Air Guard A-10 pilot and played for South Windsor Legion back in the 80s. Thank you, Uncle Rob. One of the fondest memories for Will back in his early years of South Windsor High School play. He's a junior, so it had to be either a freshman or a junior. Comeback win versus Newington JV after being down 9-1. So they learned a lesson never to give up. They throw to the bag at first, and boy, Hobbs just got back in the nick of time as Healy put the tag on his backside. And they're going to come out and have a chat about that one. Difficult angle for the base umpire there. And difficult also for the plate umpire from the angle they were looking at it. I don't know if they have any replays at all. No, they don't. I would have one, and our view's not good either because we're just using the GoPro here tonight. And they're talking about it. It was a close play. So you call them out if you want to go home early because there's 2 outs. They're going to say safe. They're not going to change the call. Top of the order waits on deck for South Windsor. They're down by a run here in the bottom of the 4th. Might have got a break there. Who knows? Bonazelli, can he make him pay for all this? Bonazelli. On the right side awaits the pitch. Down a little low. Marcotte working very quickly. Falk behind the plate to set the target. And the offering. Fouled straight back to the screen. Just missed it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on. At the bases at first and second. Been a fun one thus far. And the pitch up high off the catcher's mitt, and that certainly will advance the runners to second and third on the wild pitch. Bonazelli now with a base hit will get 2 for 1. Will also give South Windsor the lead, perhaps with a key base hit. Hobbs strolling away from that bag at second. Pitch up high, and that's ball 4. They'll load the bases now, so 2 consecutive walks by Marcotte. That loads up the bases for Kruzik, who's overdue as Danny steps up to the plate. A couple of fly ball outs. And he's got a chance now to make his mark on this game. Student at URI. Most importantly, on the dean's list, so takes the study seriously. And the pitch of the plate up high. His granddad, Tony Kruzik, 92-year-old, World War II veteran. Listening. Coach Zimmerman coming down the third baseline to give some instruction to Kruzik. Cavs 2 balls and no strikes. Bases are loaded with 2 down. Change that pitch count around. And the 2-0 pitch up high goes 3-0. There is nowhere to put him, and you would think he's going to get a magnificent pitch to hit here. Quite a chance now for Danny Kruzik. Give his squad the lead. Here comes a 3-0, and that's up high, and he'll earn an RBI on a walk. That's 3 consecutive walks by Devin Marcotte.
Number 13.
Bases remain loaded. So it's now a 4-4 score, and that is going to be all for Marcotte here. So I got a pitching change up coming. We'll rest the vocal cords for just a moment. All right, so new pitcher on. Pacini has come on from second base to the mound here, and that's a hit batter. So Keene, up for the first time, with the bases loaded, is hit by a pitch. Another run will score. He'll get an RBI for the Brews. Another run up on the board for South Windsor. Now they lead it 5-4. Pasqualini, Hunter to the plate. He has singled and scored on a 4-base error when he hit a fly ball out the left field, misplayed by the left fielder. May have glanced off his noggin. He had to chase it down. By the time the throw came home, Pasqualini slid under the tag and scored. Now he's up with the bases loaded. There's also the pitcher out in the mound. Started the game as a shortstop for South Windsor, so he's been part of some happenings today. Pitch missed outside, and the count goes 2-1 strike. Bases are still loaded. It's in there for this strike call. Count goes level at 2-2 strikes. Hunter requesting time, and he'll dig back in. It's been a crazy inning. The walk certainly hurting Enfield here. That pitch is fouled off. Beautiful ballpark. Took a couple years to build it. And, well, if you build it, they will come. And they certainly have in large numbers here, too. The home of the Yard Goats. Put a good product on the field. They entertain the fans. And the folks have really taken to the Yard Goats, which is great for the city. 3-2 pitch outside, ball 4. So 3 consecutive walks, a hit batter, and then another walk. Another run will score here. Bases remain loaded. And South Windsor opens up a 6-4 lead. 6 runs on just 3 hits. Ray to the plate. So Ray has remained in the game. Fouled that pitch off. He's a 9th batter to step up to the plate. Hits that on the ground to the shortstop. Fielded, knocked around, and everybody is safe. Reedy just couldn't gobble it up. Matter of fact, that may not be Reedy with some of the changes. That's Willoughby now playing at shortstop. It's fast and furious with the changes out there, so I really have to wait for some of these guys to turn around. Anyways, that's going to go as an error. Third of the game by Enfield. Another run up on the board. That would be E6.
Now batting number 22, Brady.
Kruzik scores. Brady Ward up for the second time will foul that back. So South Windsor now leading it 7-4 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Brady popped up his first plate appearance in the inning here. Had a 2-run double back on the first. Little check swing roller, scooped up, thrown across the diamond, and not in time. That's going to go as an infield base hit. Yeah, you know what? That was Reedy. Willoughby is playing second base, so again, sorry for the confusion. That was Reedy. Tried to make the play there. Ward just had too much speed. It wasn't hit all that hard. Will go as an infield single and an RBI. And another run will score. The bases remain loaded. So the fourth hit of the game will produce a run. And South Windsor on top by 4 runs now at 8-4. Going to bring Kenneth Kotler to the plate. Kotler, a versatile player, can play some third base. He pitches. He can play some outfield. 8 runs between the two teams here in the fourth frame. Pacini to deal it. Swing and a miss. Kotler, his first time out, rolled out 4-3. Fouls that back, and it's now 0-2. Pacini peeks over the glove. Falks behind the plate. It's been busy. Swing and a miss and a strikeout, and that will end the inning. 11 batters to the plate. 5 runs up on the board. Most of them score off of walks or hit batter. Had a good RBI base hit by Brady Ward as he was able to leg it out. Matter of fact, they scored all those runs on just 2 hits and an error thrown in. We'll be back with the top of 5. 8-4 your score. All right, back with the top of inning number 5. Leading things off here will be Comfrey. So Jeremy to the plate for the first time in the contest. He's hitting in Boyer's spot, Ethan Boyer's spot. Knocks that down the right field line, but foul. Into the stands. Into the souvenir section over there. Pitch to the plate up high. Pasqualini remaining on the hill, top the rubber. Taking over for Jason Ray. Pitch down low. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Pasqualini into the windup and the pitch. That missed outside. Throw some heat past him and a strikeout of Comfrey, and you have 1 down to start the 5th.
Number 12, Christian Passini.
Now Passini will step in. Christian now pitching. Came in as a second baseman, then forced into that relief role up for the first time, taking over for Jake Timmy. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Second baseman calling to the outfield grass, and it's caught. Bonazelli makes the play. And you have 2 down.
Now batting, number 7, Jack Willoughby.
Jack Willoughby, who began the game as the right fielder, now playing second base. With 2 out and the base is clear. Pitch in there for the, no, just going to be a bit wide, they say. That's ball 1. It was close. Pasqualini wanted a strike call there, but he's not messing around. He's ready to deal another. And the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, came right at him. The count goes level. 1 ball and 1 strike. Teams combined for 8 runs back in the 4th to make it 8-4 in favor of South Windsor. They scored 5 of the runs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Pasqualini. The right-hander's delivery. Struck him out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning as Willoughby goes down for the 3rd time in the game. We're back with a bottom of 5 in just a moment. And it's still 8-4. South Windsor on top by 4 runs. All right, welcome back as we move on to the bottom of inning number 5, and Jack Waterman will lead it off. 7th hitter in the lineup here for South Windsor as they try to pick up win number 6 in the season against 9 losses. And Enfield coming in at 10-5, looking for their 11th win, obviously. Waterman today has singled and struck out. Swing and a miss there, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. New pitcher out in the hill. Looks like Dom Whalen now pitching. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Waterman trying to set the table. Pitch down low. Mentioned his great-grandfather in World War II. Serving our country proudly. Count quickly goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's ball 4. So that's going to put a runner on.
Now batting number 31, Josh Hobbs.
And it brings up to the plate for South Windsor. Josh Hobbs, wearing number 31. Enfield struggling to find a strike zone as a pitching staff right now. Throw on down. They got him. Pick him off the bag at first. Waterman is gone. Great throw by the catcher, Matt Falk. Boy, I'll tell you what, he looks like one of the classier catchers here in American Legion play. 2019, no doubt about it on that throw on down. He just snapped it down there. So you have 1 out. Hobbs up with the bases clear. 1-0 pitch. Miss. It's now 2 balls and no strikes. Low and inside. Count goes 3 balls and no strikes. Dom Whalen looks in for the sign from the catcher, Falk. And the 3-0 pitch. Automatic strike call. Count goes 3 balls and 1. 4 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors for Enfield. 8 runs on 4 hits and a couple of errors for South Windsor. Enfield just about straight away on this beautiful night for American Legion baseball here at Dunkin' Donut Park. And it is ball 4. So 2 consecutive walks in relief here by Whalen. He's got the benefit of the pickoff throw at the bag at first, however. I guess that runner will just stay right there. It brings to the plate Bonazelli. Bonazelli up for the second time he walked. The throw on down. Boy, they nearly had another. Folks throw just a tad short that time. Whalen to look in for the side. Swing and a miss. Zach Healy at first. The first baseman, that is, has to be alert. His catcher's going to snap it down to him. Whalen's pitch to the plate, swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Bonazelli will go back to the dugout. You have 2 down.
Now batting number 16, Danny Kruzik.
Kruzik will step on up to the plate now. Danny in the ball game walked with the bases loaded, collecting an RBI in the 4th. Couple of fly ball outs, so officially he's 0 for 2 with an RBI. Got Keene in the on-deck circle. The pitch miss, low and inside. Here on the bottom of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. Kruzik was challenged with that high fastball, couldn't lay off. That pitch will go to the backstop. The wild pitch will advance the runner. And Hobbs down in the scoring position now for the leadoff hitter, Danny Kruzik, as they try to add to their 4-run lead. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch low, and the count goes 2-2. Low and inside. Whalen's pitch. And that's a strike 3 call over the outside corner. Beautiful pitch by Dom Whalen. And that will take care of Danny Kruzik and South Windsor. We're on to the top of the 6th inning. So in the inning, no runs. There were no hits. A couple of walks. A pickoff saved the day and 1 left. Back with the top of the 6th inning, and South Windsor leading Enfield 8-4. All right, welcome right back onto the top of inning number 6, and Falk to lead it off here. He's been an impressive ball player today. He has scored a couple of runs, collecting RBIs, 2 for 3. He's thrown out a batter. I should say a base runner at the bag at first. And that ground ball hit down to the third baseman. A stumble a bit and throw across the diamond, and not in time. Falk able to beat the throw. Brady Ward now playing third base in place of Allard. He stumbled just a bit. That will go as a base hit. Hit number 7 in the game for Enfield. So Falk on with an infield single. Brings up Carlin. Carlin showing bunt. Cam today is struck out, grounded out to the first baseman, singled and scored as a stolen base. Runner goes, throw on down, and the tag made, and they say they got him. Beautiful tag there by the shortstop. So Falk is caught running. Beautiful throw down by Jack Waterman as he gunned him down. Tag was pretty good too. So you got 1 out. Got it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beautiful, beautiful tag and a strong throw by Waterman. There's a strikeout of Carlin. So now you got 2 down. Brings up Brett Reedy. Reedy has walked, singled a couple of times, knocked in a run. He's played a couple of positions. That pitch miss. Pasqualini in relief of Jason Ray. Come on, he's done a fine job, hasn't he? And the offering. That ball cued down to second, collected, and on the first. Bonazelli got it there. Hobbs made the play with the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. 2 consecutive put together by Pasqualini as he settled things down from the pitching side of things. Back with the bottom of the 6th. And your score, it remains 8-4, South Windsor over Enfield. All right, welcome back as we move on to the bottom of inning number 6. Keene leading things off. So Charlie Keene, who can catch, play the outfield. He can also pitch some. Very versatile player. Charlie Keene, a senior at South Windsor High School. Other sports, he's also a swimmer. And guess what his hobby might be? You got it, video games. Favorite movie? Jaws. I will not go in the ocean. But all the reports of shark sightings and bites all over the place. My ocean days are over. I'm a pool guy now. All right, so Keene will lead it off. He has come on in to play for Jake Main. Jake joined us up here in the booth for a half inning and did a terrific job, although while he was here, and of course he's a South Windsor player, Enfield scored 3 runs, so we kicked him out of the booth. And lo and behold, South Windsor put up 5, so there you go. Jake came up to talk about the meaning of playing American Legion baseball and to thank his granddad who lives in Virginia. That ball popped up by Keene. He stays alive. Behind the count, though, 0-2. More baseball coming your way tomorrow as we make our way to Bristol, to Muzzy Field. Looking forward to our trip and meeting with our good man, Paul LaFleur. Watch some Bristol baseball. Strike out a Keene to start the
number 12, Hunter.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Pasqualini, the young man who can pick up the win here today in relief for South Windsor. Takes ball 1. 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Count quickly goes 2 balls and no strikes. Pasqualini chops one. Big hop. Fielded athletically and thrown on to first. That is a nice defensive play. Well done by Willoughby. Pasqualini hit that with a lot of top. Now you got 2 down, 4-3 if you like to score at home. That brings up to the plate Jason Ray. Ray started the game as a pitcher. Foul tips that into the catcher's mitt. Has a base hit. Also reached on an error here tonight. Officially, he's 1 for 3. Hits a ground ball up the middle, and that's a base hit. So he becomes a 2-out base runner with a single up the middle. Good bit of hitting.
Now batting, number 22, Brady.
Brady Ward to the plate. Ward has played a variety of positions here tonight. He's played some first base and moved over to the bag at third as Brady. Collected 2 RBIs with a double back in the first, an RBI base hit in that big 5-run 4th inning. Fouls the first pitch off. Brady attending the University of South Carolina. As we mentioned earlier, his dad played some Legion baseball in New Jersey. And he chops out one of the shortstop. They'll get the force. No, they won't at the bag at second. Ball is thrown away. Ricochets off the far wall beyond the foul line on the first base side, and runners will advance. So it looked routine. It didn't turn out that way. Jason Ray will move to the bag at third. Brady Ward reaching on the throwing error.
Now batting, number 1, Jay Fournier.
And he ends up at second base. So it brings Fournier back up to the plate. He was batted for, but now he's inserted back into the lineup with substitutions. You can re-enter. He's lined out. Hits that on the ground. Fielded. The throw will go across the dime, and this time it's on the money by Reedy for the out. And that will end the inning. All right, we'll be back with the top of the 7th. Enfield down 8-4. They got to score 4 times to extend things here. 5 times. Could pick up a win. We got that all upcoming. The top of the 7th. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Onto the top of the 7th inning we go. Zach Healy, the first baseman, to lead it off. He's reached on an error, a base hit and an error. Big swing and a miss. Has an RBI. Pasqualini trying to pick up the win here today. Very feisty, good athletic man, an all-state soccer goalkeeper out at South Windsor High School in his day. And the 1-1 pitch up high. Count goes 2 balls, 1 strike. Pasqualini. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with a fastball. And he got him. He struck him out. So you got one down. Pasqualini has had 2 consecutive. 1, 2, 3 innings. The pitch hit very high up in the air. Going after the first offering was Dom Whalen, and he becomes an out as he skies one to center field. Caught there by Kruzik for the inning's second out. So the South Windsor American Legion ball team now just an out away from a big win. They lead at 8-4 here on the top of the 7th.
And now batting, number 24, Justin Ledger.
So Ledger, who began the game as a pitcher, coming back up to the plate here. He's struck out, actually walked and struck out his right. He was hit for in the 4th. Swings at the first pitch and fouls that off towards us on the third base side. Pasqualini into the windup, missed outside. 4 runs on 6 hits and 4 errors for Enfield tonight. For South Windsor, 8 runs on 5 hits. They've committed 3 errors. Errors certainly hurt Enfield's causes. They also walked a whole slew of batters in this game here tonight. Their pitching staff, that pitch is fouled out, by the way. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. In the 4th inning alone, that's when they really had some trouble. They walked 4 batters and hit a batter and committed an error. And there's a base hit to extend the inning. So a good bit of hitting put together there by Ledger. Keep things alive. Ethan Boyer back up to the plate. Fly ball out his first time. Also struck out. Boyer swinging from the right side. Runner's going to go. There won't be a throw. Boyer attending Springfield College, was a 3-year Enfield Legion player. Well, he's in his 3rd year now. Runner goes again to take third. Enfield trying to put together a rally here in the top of the 7th. It was fouled right off the catcher, Waterman. He had to feel that. Count remains 0-2. Got 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Special thanks to both coaching staffs. Greg Zimmerman's staff and Tom Owens and his staff for all the bio information they passed along here today. That pitch is popped up to the shortstop, and that's going to do it. Your final score, South Windsor 8, Enfield 5. Your final line numbers as we make a quick update. Four runs on 6 hits and 4 errors for Enfield. I had 5 up there, and I do apologize for that. South Windsor 8 runs on 5 hits. They committed 1 error. Actually, their error totals went way up there. They had 3, so let me do that again, can I? 6. I'm getting tired. Enfield, 4 runs on 6 hits and 4 errors. South Windsor, 8 runs on 5 hits, and they committed 3 errors. The losing pitcher, I do believe, and don't hold me to it, okay, Justin Ledger, and the winning pitcher in relief will be Hunter Pasqualini in a fine effort. 8 for your final score with the win. South Windsor now 6-9. Enfield they fall to 10-6. Special thanks to Dunkin' Donuts Park for making us feel so comfortable here today as we bid adieu. More baseball action coming your way tomorrow as we get SportingNewsCT.com up to speed with our American Legion coverage here in 2019. So nice to have you alongside. We'll see you in Bristol tomorrow night, and we'll say hello to our good friend Paul LaFleur and his Bristol American Legion program. That's going to do it, everybody. Goodbye.